Welcome to the IDEEA Podcast, a channel for the IDEEA Hospitality Investment Forum, which is an annual gathering for the hospitality investment community in Eastern Europe. Tune in to insightful conversations between the IDEEA team and hospitality investment leaders and innovators across Europe. And now, let's dive right into today's episode.
Hello everyone, and welcome today to one more IDEEA Podcast. As you know, IDEEA will be held in 10 days in Athens, September 26, 27. And up front, we have today with us Mr. Aleksandar Ljubic. He is the Executive Director of the Foreign Investors Council in Serbia. And we have been cooperating with FIC for some time. So Aleksandar, it's a great pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Aleksandar, let's just explain a little bit what is FIC and what is your main purpose?
Foreign Investors Council is one of the oldest business association in Serbia. Exists 20 years. This year, actually, we are celebrating 20 years of our presence in Serbia. And our main goal is the advocacy. So we are gathering large international corporations and we help Serbia through the institutional relationship with the government to be a better place for the invest and for doing the business.
Okay. Would you consider yourself something similarly like the investment agency, but not governmentally organized?
No, we are not. Actually, we are gathering the company who are already present here in Serbia, and we help them to facilitate their business. We are not representing any company particular. It means we are basically represent the industry which the company came from. So we are one focal point when, or the first stop when the potential investors want to come to establish the business in Serbia. They have opportunity to discussing with us and with our members about their experience of doing business in Serbia. As you know, like any other business association, you always have problems on a daily basis regarding the performing the business. And for the 20 years, we try to resolve the majority of this. What is important actually is that entire year we are gathering all information from our members through our committee. And once a year we have our own publication. It's called White Book, which is very famous, and at least the event that we are having once a year is the biggest political economic event here in Serbia, when we present our findings about the business climate here in Serbia. This is very important for the government, and they are trying to understand what are the needs of the business and how to facilitate and to improve this.
So what are the findings for the past couple of years? Do you see the increase in foreign investors? Do you see interest in specific investment sectors? What is the main thing that is maybe changing in Serbia in past couple of years?
Actually, as everybody in Europe, we divide our job like pre-Corona and during Corona and after Corona situation. As you know, before the Corona, we was more focused on generally improving different areas of legislation, especially because the Serbia is the European candidate for the accession, and lots of job need to be done to be fully in line with all acquis regulation of the European Union. And this is when we put our effort to fully harmonize the Serbian legal system with the European one. But during the Corona pandemic, we have been more focused on the day-to-day operation. For example, digitalization. As you know, we was locked down like everybody in Europe. So all our business is more switch in digital form. So push like this digital agenda was a very important for us. Again, we have different areas of the business, and but some of the industries was more hit during the pandemic than others. For example, the tourism, which was really suffering during that time period. And we know here in Serbia, and also UN General Assembly recognized this in 2022, that that the tourism is a very important industry, and it's very vulnerable in this situation like we have the pandemic. So we are in fact very proud for our committee of the tourism and hospitality and how we handle all of these challenges that we have during this pandemic. Of course, not only tourism, but other sectors like pharma, like industry, like food sector, like others. And we are dealing this 24/7, 360 days a year. And this is our main achievement, is that we make Serbia and the company that operate here make a predictable surroundings. And this is very important for any business that you have. You know, large companies don't like surprises. They don't like any kind of the surprises. They like to be bored. So our goal is to make the Serbia business boring here in Serbia, and this is what we do.
Well, that is true. Not only big businesses, but investors especially, they really want to have security when investing in a certain country. So I definitely support that you actually provide this to them, at least in some way. You were telling me about the management board and how interesting it is, the combination of who is sitting on the management board of FIC Serbia. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yep. The FIC is predominantly gathering the company from European Union. And in the sense of that, our biggest partner and our biggest allies in everything what we do is the European Commission and, of course, European delegation here in Belgrade. The one speciality of the FIC organization is that the FIC is the only organization in Serbia, and I also think in region, is that the gathering the business and international financial institution. So the EBRD and EIB are the members of the board of the FIC. And this is the only two board members which are institutional. So they don't go to the election. They're always members of our board. And other board members we are choosing from the member company. So this connection between the businesses and the financial institution is, of course, also very, very, very important. Very important for us for this predictability, as we already discussed. Again, one addition to that, the FIC is the only organization who gathering the bilateral chamber of commerce here in Serbia. So we have by European bilateral chamber of commerce as members of the FIC, because FIC by themselves is not a chamber. We are a business association, and for us it's also very important to have their opinion in the process of improving the business climate here in Serbia, and join all of these voices and proposals. So we put one document which we communicate with the government. Again, because of the special treatment of the company, because it's a large international companies. We in these 20 years we established one sort of the special relationship with the government. So aside of our operation, we have a joint body with the government. We have committees, joint committees with the government, chaired by Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Republic of Serbia, and followed by our board members, which once a year we're sitting on the event that we call reality check and see what the government do in the previous 6 months and what need to be done in the upcoming 6 months before we published our new edition of the White Book. Why is this important for the government? Because we are independent organization. Everything what we do is done by members. I mean, The member company draft all documents that we present to the government. So it means it's a real picture from the real life. It's actually a real picture from the execution of everything what the government before that made in the cabinets. And this is why the first, why it's very important for them. And the second, because we are independent source, European Commission use our report, our white book report, for the economic part of the Serbia accession report to the European Union. So double function, double goal for the government is to try to achieve and try to fulfill as much recommendation as it possible that the FIC proposed.
I sincerely hope that they actually really take some of your foundings and implement them within the official institutions. Aleksandar, do you see new investors coming to Serbia, being interested in even some new sectors, or just the ones that haven't been yet present there?
To be very honest, yes, we are not, especially after the corona, we are all facing the new crisis that is raised in effect with the war in Ukraine. And of course, this is what we are closely monitoring, especially on the impact of the energy crisis, because the Serbia, as many European countries, fully energy reliable from some other countries. And investor, and what is encouraged for us is that the number of the investment coming to Serbia is not declining in the last couple of years. But of course, we are closely monitoring what will happen in the future, and especially because you need to know Serbia is a place that the majority of their economy operations done exclusively with the European Union. And not all European Union. The two major Serbia partners inside of the European Union are the Germany and Italy. And what happened in these two countries is heavily reflected on the Serbian economy, let's say with a delay of 30 days. And this is why it is very important that the European economy, our headquarters, our members' headquarters, have smooth operation into the upcoming year, not to slip into the recession, because if something like that happened, it definitely will reflect to our operation here and the Serbia economy in general.
Well, I really hope that recession, even if it will come, it will be short and not that harmful. Aleksandar, thank you.
To be very honest, the prediction that we do is that anyway, if there is a recession, of course, our prediction is that we last very short, because we have now we are in European Union and in Serbia and in Croatia we are facing with inflation, which is not seen from actually Serbia, yes, but in other European countries are not seen for a very long time. And to be in line with that, of course, we're hoping that this growth or limited growth will be just kept for 1 or 2 years, and after that we will be again on the full speed ahead as European economy's sake. And of course, that Serbia is pretty tight to the European one. It's also reflect on the Serbian economy.
Yes, unfortunately, our countries depend heavily on the outside markets. And whatever happens there, we can't influence that much.
Unfortunately not.
Aleksandar, thank you so much. I think it's very helpful that FIC is doing so much with both new and current investors in Serbia. And I think you definitely support them in order to be more successful, in order to understand all the laws that sometimes maybe might be more confusing than in some developed markets. But I definitely wish you all the best to the organization to be better, to have more investors, and to to support the government and the growth as much as you can.
Marina, thank you very much for inviting us, and looking forward to see you soon.
It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Aleksandar. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the IDEEA Podcast, the channel for the IDEEA Hospitality Investment Forum. You can find a full transcript of this conversation in the content library on idea-forum.com with other reports and insights. We look forward to welcoming you and your colleagues in person at IDEEA in Athens, Greece on the 26th through 27th of September 2022. If you haven't registered yet, please go to idea-forum.com to purchase your pass today and save before ticket prices increase. Please feel free to email us with any questions at hello@thebench.com. Until the next episode, stay safe and keep well. Bye-bye for now.